Level 5 in Kyusho is our last of the basic striking levels. So we have moved from the arms to the head to the body, and now we're on the legs. So legs can be really hard to find and locate because when somebody is moving around and sparring with you, their legs are constantly moving under them. So oftentimes, without a lot of practice, you go to make a kick and you miss completely. So you want to be able to try to find the ones that work best for you, develop those first, and then try to go to the ones that might be a little bit more difficult and a little bit more detailed. Two of the places that I find are really worth starting with are Spleen 11 and Gall Bladder 31. And the main reason for that is, and I apologize for the camera being so far, if I'm moving around, my feet are going to move the most, but my upper legs are moving the least. So if you notice someone's moving around and they're sparring and they're moving in a fighting position, this area doesn't move as much as their feet. Okay? And if you go to kick them, they're going to have a harder time getting this part away than they will their feet. It's also closer to you, so if you're extending a kick, you're more likely to hit that target. And the further away you go, the harder it is for you to reach. Well, Spleen 11 and Gall Bladder 31 are related in the fact that they're on opposite sides of the leg. Spleen 11 is in the front part of the thigh, Gall Bladder 31 is in the back. We'll start with Spleen 11. So again, I apologize for the distance, but I'm looking at, I'm in a cat stance right now. So if that is up, then this allows me to have the inside part of this quadricep muscle exposed. If you feel along your muscles, and anyone that's an athlete or martial artist is going to have pretty well developed quads from doing a lot of stance work, if you go inside of that, and once you pass the muscle and you let your fingers kind of curl in, you'll notice that there's less muscle in there to support, and that inside part of that is where Spleen 11 is. You can run directly up from the knee towards the groin, and you'll notice a softer area in the middle part of the thigh. So from a pretty solid stance, if someone's facing you and you can get to that side, you can get a kick that goes forward, a straight in type of kick if you're at an angle, or if you're facing someone straight on, a twisted kick or some type of roundhouse kick that would be able to come into there. You could also potentially access it with the heel, as in like a hook kick, but figuring out how to find that, someone's facing you straight on, you're going to more likely take out their front leg than their back leg. Front leg is centered, so the target is right in front of you, where the back leg is behind, so the target's really hard to get because of the location. Once the person throws a kick, however, you may notice their leg opens up. So that is Spleen 11. If you're close, knees work really well, so you don't even have to think about that kick. But that's where this one really shines. Gall Bladder 31 on the back or outside of the quad. Again, athletes are very well developed here. You'll notice UFC fighters take kick after kick after kick. They do it in Muay Thai boxing all the time, and to very little effect. But every once in a while, you'll see somebody buckle, and you'll see somebody fall. It's usually because they got behind the muscle. Slightly behind that muscle, Gall Bladder 31. Below that's 32, so if you miss one, you get in the other. By the way, if you don't prescribe to the points, and you do not have to, the points are just along these nerves that help people as reference points. Anything across and down that thigh is going to have a pretty good effect. We find that that area that's called Gall Bladder 31 tends to have the better effect just because of how easy it is to access. So you feel on your leg and you go across, you find the seam of the pants slightly behind that, and you can come forward with it. Just to test it on yourself, take your thumb off your knuckle, and just with your arm extended and straight, you're pretty much going to find it every time. Right? Somebody's in a good strong stance facing you straight on, you're not going to be able to hit that with a front kick or even a slight roundhouse kick. Someone throws an attack at you and gives you a little bit more turn, that's when you come across. You'll notice, just like I said with the spleen, the knees are going to be your best friend on these, because if you get to the outside, you can drive a knee up to the side of their leg. If the person's straight on, you take out the inside of their leg. Spleen 11, Gall Bladder 31. Keep in mind the angle and direction of these. You should be able to draw a line straight through here. Spleen 11 comes out of Gall Bladder 31, and Gall Bladder 31 will come out directly at Spleen 11.